Wonderful, badly drawn boy, live in session with his version of I'll Keep It With Mine. So what else did you want to say about that particular tune, mate?
Apart from the fact that it was, when somebody's that good, they can give a song like that away. And I think there's a couple of versions that Bob did. I call him Bob, over familiar with him. But yeah, there's a version, an studio outtake that's really different, as you'd expect. It was like a really slow version. And Susanna Hoffs did a good version of it. But I just kept people on Twitter actually reminding me of it from time to time. But there were just, I think some people doubt Bob Dylan as how humanitarian he is in terms of, because he's so mysterious. I mean, when you read his books and stuff, he remains mysterious, but he gives everything away at the same time. I don't know how he balances that. And the lyrics in that, so just to sing a line like, some people are very kind, it's just a beautiful thing to say in a song. It's just that line alone is worth it for. It's just got something about it.
Yeah, it's a wonderful song, and the funny thing is, like you say, I mean, when you're somebody iconic like Dylan, and we got to know, Mark Radcliffe and myself got to know David Bowie a little bit, and we knew that he was much happier just having a laugh and reading Viz. Whereas people see David Bowie as this icon and would be very, very nervous. If they're just walking down the road and see David Bowie, you'd flip your lid. But he was really at the heart of it, this London lad, and just had a really playful sense of humour. But Bob Dylan's got an even more of a mystique about him, hasn't he?
Yeah, like I say, I don't know how he's done it, because he's remained present, but yet mysterious. Like Bowie was, he didn't hide in the shadows, like you say. You had him on your show a few times, and he was dead affable and easygoing and liked people. And yeah, Bob's just amazing. I don't know. He's grown on me over the years. It took me a long time to really get into Bob Dylan, but
I was going to ask you that actually, because I don't know. Don't shout at me, because you probably can't get through an interview without people mentioning Bruce Springsteen. They always mention Bruce Springsteen, and you're big Bruce Springsteen fan. But I wondered where Bob Dylan came into the frame, because people talk about Bob Dylan phase. People going through the Bob Dylan phase, don't they? And a lot of artists have done that. But I didn't get into Dylan until probably Mark Tilton, who was in a band called The Creepers with me. We were touring Germany, and he had Blonde on Blonde. And he played me various tunes by Dylan, and I just got lost. It took me all that time, really, to understand Bob Dylan. And so when did he come to you then?
Well, I had to get through a few Bruce years before I got to Bob. But it's one of those things, I was only 7 or 8 years old in 1978. So I remember my mum and dad had Street Legal and Baby Stop Crying. So I was aware of that, but I didn't know much about who Bob Dylan was as an 8-year-old in 78. And then early 80s, I remember hearing Joker Man, because I set the video player, we got our first video player, and I set it to tape an all-night music show, like Midsummer.
I did the same thing. And that video of him doing Joker Man is just one of the greatest things. Yeah, it's just his face, isn't it?
It was the first thing that was on the video, so I was mesmerised by that, and what a song that is. I mean, Changing of the Guards as well. But Bruce came in from nowhere for me. It was such a Christmas 1984, the Whistle Test special on Bruce. So Bruce was obviously massive with Born in the USA, but I wasn't really aware of that or paying attention to it. I just saw footage of Thunder Road played at No Nukes in 79. And again, it was a videotape thing. I just crammed the video into the cassette player to record this intro, harmonica and piano of Thunder Road, because I just thought it sounded like nothing I'd ever heard. And then the performance in that is that. So that was my portal to Bruce. I think if it had been a different portal, that word people use, portal, but if it had been different, it might not have connected with me, because if I'd have heard, I wasn't really sure about Born in the USA at that point, but I went back and bought all these records from the first one chronologically, and I just became, especially I was buying bootlegs as well, anything with Thunder Road on it, so I was listening to all these versions of Thunder Road, like Wings for Wheels was its original title, and there was a whole different lyric in it. So it made me fascinated with the process of songwriting. I wanted to be a sound engineer because of it. I thought, that sounds interesting. There's a story behind music that you don't know. Like you've delved into that with your other show, your features about the way, the story behind how the music happens. So I became fascinated with that because of Bruce. And then after that, in the early 90s, I then had a phase of like American indie. John Spencer, Blues Explosion changed my life. I've told you that before.
Yeah.
So I could go on and on about, but Bruce was just smack bang in the 80s. But it was his early stuff that really grabbed me.
Yeah, it's funny, like you say. I mean, there are certain things. I use it's a bad analogy, but when I went whale watching, like, you know, a long, long time ago, and the first trip that I went to see, we just saw humpback whales all around the boat, fin whales. It was just going by. I thought, this is great. You just guaranteed to see whales every time, and so I got hooked. If I had gone out that day and not seen any, I probably thought, oh, that's crap. This, I'm not doing that anymore. You know, so it's a bad analogy, but I'm using it anyway.
No, but it's I know what you're saying. It's the things in life that kind of become important. You can't really put your finger on it, like the mates that become good mates, or just, you know, just kind of casual mates, or it's all a bit random.
Yeah, sure. No. Okay, so I mean, your last album was 4 years ago.
I know already.
But that you've had longer gaps between records, to be honest, haven't you? And so, I mean, are you surprised because your audience is always there for you, and they're very kind of the patient. They just wait for you, don't they? Whenever you're ready.
Not always. I've turned up and there's been no one there a few times. No, yeah, I don't know. I mean, last year I did a lot of gigs like solo shows and festivals, and yeah, it is. I mean, it is amazing that people are still interested. I need to pull my finger out and do some more music though, because I don't want to just become a nostalgia artist or a legacy artist, as they call them. I've got hundreds of songs, unfinished songs, probably more than I can ever finish, probably. But it's just applying the words to them and making them feel like the song they want to be. Melodies has always been the easiest thing for me. I can like turning on a tap without showing off. Melodies just come because the piano or the guitar's in your hands. It's there. It's the words take a lot more thought, and I always struggle to get the syllables to fit the melody without making it worse. That's always the only goal I have, is to not ruin the melody with a bad lyric.
Well, you know, I mean, Elton John had Bernie Taupin, and I have to say, yeah, I've got a part-time job, you know. I mean, I've got a few hours a day that might, you know, and just putting it out there for you, just being a cheap.
Your version of Roll With It, that's, I mean, amongst others that you did.
Oh, I'm blushing. I'm blushing.
It's amazing.
Yeah. I can only agree. Okay, then. And so, well, we were having a laugh here, okay. So you were talking about you're doing your own tour, and it's looming large. It starts on the 22nd of March. And I've got the dates here, and I will go through them. Then we've got some more dates that we can't go through them all. You pointed out for the second tour we'll discuss in a moment. But you're doing this tour, and it's Altrincham, the Bowden Rooms, 22nd of March. The 21st of April, Old Woollen in Leeds. The 25th will be Waterside in Sale. 26th, King George's Hall in Blackburn. The 25th, Leastock Music Festival in Sudbury. North Shields on the 21st of June. And then also you've got Ottery Outdoor Festival by the look of it. Beautiful Days Festival on the 15th of August. And you've got more coming up in... But this... It's music. Can you explain exactly what it is? Because it's music, but it's also a Q&A with the audience, is it? Is that for all of those?
Oh, no, not that many, I don't think. Unless somebody's not filled me in on the schedule. The first four you mentioned, I think, that in spring, March and April, I'm playing the same venue as you are doing at the Bowden Rooms.
Right.
I think there's only four of those that are with Chris Hawkins from Six Music, as you know.
Yeah.
He just approached me a while ago about doing so it's an interview, really, interview and playing songs, so live and in chat with me. So we've not worked out how we're going to do it, but it'll be probably 10 or 12 songs maximum with chat in between, leading up to it. I don't know. We'll probably chat as much as me and you are now and never get to play a song.
Right.
That might be what happens.
If you want to just put out there to the listeners what question you would really like to hear, then, you know, you can tell them. Maybe they'll take you up on it. But also, you're opening for Squeeze on a mammoth tour. This is just absolutely bonkers. So it starts on the 4th of October. And that's in Sheffield, and you go through Birmingham. It looks like a couple of nights there at the Symphony Hall, a great venue. Aberdeen Music Hall, Edinburgh, Glasgow, the Apollo, Manchester on a Saturday, be there. Newcastle, you're going to Stoke-on-Trent, Nottingham, York, the Marks and Spencer Bank Arena in Liverpool, Llandudno, the venue, which is where I was talking to you about before, and Leicester, Cambridge, Ipswich, Southend, Southampton, Guildford, Bristol. Oh, mate, there are too many. You were dead right. But we need to say, just get it very, very plain then, if you're going to go and see Squeeze on the forthcoming tour towards the end of the year, then you need to get there in time to see Badly Drawn Boy. And so you've got two more tunes to do for us, mate. So what are you going to do now? Yeah,
the Squeeze thing is amazing. So just while I'm on air, to thank Difford and Tilbrook, Chris and Glenn, for asking me to do it, because it's such a nice nod to me. They're two of the greatest songwriters we've ever had in this country.
Definitely.
So for them to ask me is a real massive honour. Much like playing with the Lightning Seeds a couple of years ago, Ian, these amazing songwriters just asking me to get on board and play. And it's a different thing playing support slots. It can be pretty nice. But anyway, this is so thanks to them for that. And this is Apple Tree Boulevard off the last album that came out in 2020.